Well, good evening, and welcome again to the 2012fad.com. I will be your host for this evening, and my name is Charlie Bluehawk. Last night, we talked about unless we agree, which means even the devil has to live by the law, and why our masters have done nothing to us that we did not first agree to in advance. We agreed to let them do what they wanted to us, and we put it in writing. See, our masters must get our permission, our written permission, in advance because of their religion. They practice black magic. They worship Satan. Therefore, everything they do must be in writing. It must follow the law. Now, as we all know, there are so many laws in the United States today, you can actually pick and choose what laws you want. So breaking the law really doesn't make any sense at that point when you've got enough to choose from. But it still has to be in writing. And it has to be in advance. And our masters have to get that from us before they can rob us, kidnap us, torture us, rape and murder our children, steal our land, steal our homes, steal our country, and then put us out in the streets jobless, while getting us into the middle of an endless series of senseless, mindless, and endless wars. Now, if you have any doubt about this, did you vote for Barack Obama? Barack Obama, a white man born in Kenya, not a U.S. citizen, a Muslim, raised in Indonesia, who once stated, while he was a U.S. senator, and I'm still not sure how he actually became a senator, he once stated that no U.S. president had the power to take this country into war. But now he's attacked Libya. He's attacked Libya without the approval, without the consent of Congress, which is a requirement under our laws. Did you vote for Barack? A total unknown, a complete non-entity. Did you make Barack Obama president? Well, guess what? You voted our masters into power. And now we are, yet again, at war with yet another Muslim country. A Muslim country that has done nothing to us. And we've just made more Muslim enemies. And we're supporting an internal uprising by people we don't know who they are. We cannot even identify who these people might even be. Who are these people that we are attacking Libya for? We don't even know. So please don't complain about the endless wars, about the pollution of the planet, the pollution of your bodies, the pollution of your souls. You voted for it. And so tonight, I thought we might chat about learning to say no. And I will tell you honestly, this was the very first and the very hardest lesson I ever had to learn. But you see, the ability to say no gives you power over your own life. And that, of course, is the very last thing our masters want you to have. Control of your own destiny. And being able to say no will give you back the power you never knew you had given away in the first place. And so you are programmed, I am programmed, we are all programmed to always say yes. To say yes to everything we are asked to do. Not to say yes makes you a bad Christian. Not to say yes makes you a bad Muslim. Not to say yes makes you a bad Jew. Not to say yes makes you a bad American. To say no is considered to be politically incorrect. And so, when a homosexual pedophile rapist is caught and convicted, we cannot say in court or in the newspapers that he is a homosexual pedophile rapist. We have to pretend that this man who rapes children is not even a criminal. Perhaps the young boy had said no, which automatically made him a bad Christian, and so he deserved what he got. Perhaps the young boy said no, and so quite naturally this homosexual pedophile rapist had to teach this young boy a lesson. And that lesson is never to say no. Our masters, as we've talked about before, have servants, whom I call the Mandarin class. A good example is Bill and Hillary Clinton. They are members of the Mandarin class. And they were all practicing homosexuals. The number of stories of Hillary having sex with female sex slaves in the White House, pretty much every hotel she's ever been in, are legendary. But of course, it's politically incorrect to mention it, so we just don't bother. So why do you suppose the Mandarin class all practice homosexuality? Because under black magic ritual, having sex with the same gender gives you greater black magic power. The Nazis actually practiced this in pre-World War II Germany and during. It was actually promoted within the Nazi Party. Same sex or same gender sex gave you more power. And being a homosexual pedophile rapist, male or female, gives you even greater power than having sex with someone your own age. Because the purer the spirit, in this case the younger the person that you are torturing, raping, skinning, killing, and then spilling their blood on the altar stone, gives you, again under black magic ritual, even more power. It's another reason why the Mandarin class wants to make terms like homosexual pedophile rapist not only politically incorrect, but now they want to make that term illegal to use in a court of law. Why? Because they know that someday they might get caught raping a child, and they want to keep their freedom. For example, an 11-year-old girl was gang raped in Texas a few weeks ago. The local newspaper reporter wrote how sad it was that these men, these all-grown men, had been tempted into raping an 11-year-old girl, and how they had to live with her evil, the stain of her evil on them for the rest of their lives. Now, of course, the 11-year-old girl, after that was really never mentioned, the reporter painted the picture in the news report that at the age of 11 years old, she was an evil seductress who got what she deserved. Somehow, the report seemed to forget that she was an 11-year-old girl. So I guess she must have said no, which made her a bad Christian, and therefore a grown group of men were driven by religious indignation by her political incorrectness, and they had to rape her because she was being a bad Christian. So under current American law, she had to be taught that to say no is bad for America. To me, the ability to say no is a personal right. You, me, these small children, all have the right to say no when we're being harmed. We all have the right to say no when we are asked to do something that we know is wrong. What's wrong? What is wrong? Let's say, for example, going to war against yet another Muslim country that was no threat to us at all. Just as Iraq was not a threat to us. The reason we attacked Iraq in the first place is because of the phony 9/11 attack staged against the people of New York. But the strange thing is, and I've never had this explained to me by anybody, the strange thing is those phony terrorists in that phony staged event of 9/11 were all from Saudi Arabia. And so we attacked Iraq. Still haven't figured that one out. And all those phony Saudi Arabian terrorists, most of them are still alive and well in Saudi Arabia because they never left their own country in the first place. And of course, Saudi Arabia is an ally of the United States, so I guess we couldn't really attack an ally when its citizens theoretically attacked us. We actually attacked ourselves, but we don't want to talk about that. That's politically incorrect. So instead of attacking an ally, Saudi Arabia, we attacked Iraq. Yeah. Okay, let's say, for example, going to war without the full consent and agreement of the U.S. Congress, which, under the laws of our country, the laws in which our country was founded, is the only governmental body that has the right to commit this country to war. The president does not today, nor has the president ever had the power under the Constitution to take this country into war. Now, old King George Bush, George IV, if you're keeping track of our British rulers, stepped up and claimed the right to take our country to war on his own authority, which he did not have. Of course, old George Bush, also called Magog by the Committee of 300, the Olympians, our masters, gave him the power. And we did not say no. To be a human being, your most basic right is the right to say no. To have the right as a human being to say no, you will not harm me. No, you will not take my land from me. No, you will not arrest me just because I have an opinion. No, you will not rob me of my home just because you are a bank. No, you will not put foreigners into the U.S. military. No, I have rights, and I demand to be treated like a human being. This is not my decision. It's yours. And please remember, this life is not a test. It is your life. And you are the one who has to live in it. For all of us here at the2012fad.com, this has been Charlie Bluehawk, wishing you a really good day. And reminding you always to please keep that one good thought. The 2012 Fad is brought to you by Coffee and Blood, Love Letters Between the Dead, a series of 5 erotica horror novels about a fallen angel finding his way back to regain his own soul, and how the CIA war against the human race, their black magic, captures and traps him in the body of a mind-controlled slave designed to hunt down and to kill their god, their Satan.